right. So. All right. I know I get my screen. Let me show my thing. It worked just fine a minute ago. There we go. I figured it out. Okay, so. All right, so welcome to Making Impressions. My name is Leslie and I will be presenting about the Western The objectives is application development, identify parts of social media strategy, identify social media online tools and applications, and develop social media marketing plans, as well as determining the right social media for your chapter. Contact hours is 1 hour. Let's go to marketing to think about as we move forward. Target marketing is a group identified for a specific need. Our chapter identified that we're looking for individuals in the medical profession to join our chapter. Let's face it, sterile processing makes a daily impression on nearly every aspect of healthcare. It's the heart of the hospital. Becoming a part of an ISHM chapter sets you apart from your peers, and that shows that you're dedicated to your profession as well as continuing education. You do not have to be certified by ISHM in order to join a chapter. So our target audience are sterile processing technicians, central service professionals, infection prevention specialists, operating room professionals, medical or surgical vendors, environmental services, supply chain professionals, and many other professionals. Let's talk about how the Western Wisconsin chapter of ISHM has been reaching out to potential members and working for awareness. Social media in the format of our website, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to reach our target audience. Other social media options are available. I would suggest starting with 1 or 2, and as time goes on, then add on more. There is a time commitment to building content and staying active with posts to maintain your impression. It begins to disintegrate. So where to begin? Set goals, identify your chapter's target audience, create a brand, and find social media that's right for you. Plan a time frame and determine how you measure success. You have to ask yourself, is social media right for us? Are your target audience likely to be online? Can you handle the negativity that is possible? How do you plan to incorporate your content to keep your audience interested? How will you measure the results? How long are you willing to give it a try? What is your willingness to experiment, take risks, and adjust your plan? Some types of education and how we're providing that and the way it's presented. What I found over time as I went along was we went through and I started with looking at the history of our different historians. I looked at inventors like Louis Pasteur, and I gave some information about their history and the way that we, how they impacted our profession. And then eventually I started switching it over to question and answers, so that way I could create more of a feedback from my audience. So while I did have a lot of people that were engaged and they liked my, you know, the history, they weren't writing back to me. So what I did was I switched to the question and answers, and now I have people that are writing back, they're more engaged, and that's creating more impressions as I go. So targeting your audience. Finding your customer. Market segmentation is dividing the market by strategy to gain the attention of a subgroup within that market. To create a subgroup, demographics are considered. These characteristics can include gender, race, age, income, education, and employment status and location. While we are looking for a member to join WW, the Western Wisconsin chapter of ISHM, we are looking specifically for demographics such as education, employment status, and location. So we want somebody that's maybe gone to school for search tech and sterile processing, nursing, so education comes into play there. Employment, we want somebody that's working in the medical field perhaps. And then location, we're looking for people that are in the state of Wisconsin. So individuals within those groups are what we're looking for, and that's our market segmentation. Let's talk a little bit about impressions versus reach. What is that exactly? Reach is the amount of time an advertisement reaches a targeted individual and they actively get involved or use your product. Whereas impressions is an advertisement in any form. These are not action-based, so they're seeing our product, but they're not necessarily using it. Rather, it's just a potential customer seeing the advertisement and saving that information for later in the back of their head. So it's ideal for spreading your brand awareness. So every time that somebody is seeing our posts on Facebook or Instagram, they aren't necessarily contacting us, but they're kind of learning more about us. So when they need something, so if they have a question or something, they will eventually think, hey, I'm going to contact the Western Wisconsin chapter of ISHM. They will know how to help me. So this kind of goes into, what was the name of that restaurant again? So imagine you're going out to dinner and you saw a commercial the other day for an Italian restaurant. Since you have only seen the advertisement once, you only gained one impression from the advertisement. It did not reach you. You did not reach out immediately for the product, so that's what we call an impression. Now you're looking to reach. You want to go out for dinner, but because you only had that one impression, it didn't necessarily stick in your head. So that's where you're kind of stuck and you're like, well, I was going to go to that Italian restaurant, but I can't remember it, so now I'm going to go to McDonald's instead. So the more you're exposed and have impressions to the commercial or the advertisement, the more you'll remember it when the time comes to need it. So, what are your chapter goals? Our goals this year was to increase chapter membership and maintain our mission to providing education in the wake of COVID-19. Other goals could include to generate leads, increase chapter membership, drive sales of chapter events like workshops or meetings and conferences, build brand awareness, education, or to increase communication using social media, and establishing leadership among your chapter peers. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, they say. And that's exactly what the Western Wisconsin chapter of ISHM is doing. So creating a brand and keeping it fresh. So try to add new colors and designs, keep it interest in your audience. So always constantly be changing your social media, add new designs. Showcase what your chapter is working on at the time. Show your logo and add from there. So start at the basics with your logo, go from there. Everything that we build is done In Paint, there's no fancy programs required. So it sounds crazy, but I just start with simple Paint, and then I just add stuff, and I copy and paste stuff, and I just slowly build what you see. So these are some examples of what we have done in the past. So our June education meeting, we were at an airport. So I use an airline. So I use the airport as the base from what I kind of generated my ideas from. And I grew from there. So finding the right media that works for you. We have websites, newsletters, Facebooks, Instagram, LinkedIn. Oh my, there's so many. So our website. So what's so great about a website? Well, it improves your business credibility. It gives you a chance to build your business off of it. It enhances your online presence. It helps you build a strong relationship with your market. You're more trustworthy, you have a website. They can go there, they can find the information they need, and they can reach out to you pretty easily. It's an efficient way to promote your business, boost your reputation as an authority, and to showcase your work that you've accomplished. So, let's see if I can pull this up here. Switch to all right. So here you're looking at the Western Wisconsin chapter of ISHM website. On here you have your introduction page that tells us what our mission statement is. And then we have other information as well as upcoming events. Also on our website, we have information for chapter meetings. We also have, under chapter meetings, we have our leadership team. Our accomplishments for each year. We have videos that you can watch on demand. And then under our about, kind of give some information about our history. Our accomplishments through different years. Under membership, we have our membership application, information of how to contact our chapter, as well as copies of our bylaws and policies for members to get if they need it. We have our chapter event calendar. And then under education, we have a list of free education credit resources available for our members, and anyone who's not a member is just available for anyone. And we have a link to go straight to their sites. And then under projects, we have a picture gallery, and we also provide our newsletters with an archive of every newsletter we've ever done. Okay, so let's go back to here. So it kind of goes back to what I was saying, as it showcases your work, what you've accomplished. That's the power of your website. Next, we have newsletters, which I kind of showed that we do have on our website available in our archives. You want to keep them relevant, interesting, and valuable. It's a tool used to communicate regularly with your targeted audience, delivering the information you want in their email boxes. Messages can contain simple text or a structure composed of images, as well as formatted text. It's a great way to build relationships and loyalty to your brand. And then it also keeps your audience informed. So it just kind of shows some of the different newsletters that I've created over the last few months. I try to keep stuff relevant to what's going on at the time, as well as just pop out and creative and just kind of catch your eyes and draw you into it. So on to Facebook. So the advantages of Facebook: you can reach billions of potential customers, lower your marketing expenses. It really doesn't cost that much to use Facebook at all. There is the potential where you can purchase advertisement, and it can go from a few dollars to a lot of money, but you can use it for free. So that's one of the biggest advantages of it. Target your audience by location, demographic, and interest. Gain insight on your audience, build brand loyalty, increase your website traffic, and the people who like your page are there to, that you can kind of tweak your approach and grow your engagement. So as you're going through time, your page insights is going to show you what people are responding to and what they're not responding to, what time of the days they're on, and what time of the day they're not on. So let's see. I'm going to get faster at this. So here's our Facebook page. So there's a part here where you can go in and manage your page. It'll show you specifically what's going on. So it will show whatever actions you have, how many page views you have each day. So from October 8th to the 14th, we've had 10 views, which is up 67%. I did have a point where I was sick and I didn't post, so you can see where it went down, but now it's going back up. So I can kind of keep track of how the last 7 days, you can go back to the last 28 days, and it kind of gives you an idea of how your content is reaching people. So for every post that I've done, I've reached 409 people, post engagement. So each one of those posts I made, of that 409 that went out, 388 of those actually engaged in the post by clicking on it or doing something, some kind of action towards it. And then we've had 6 new page followers. And then it kind of shows down here your most recent posts. So it kind of, it has the option to boost the post, to promote it. That's where your costs come into play. And then we also have it where you can compare yourself to other chapters or other large brands. So I have Isham on here, Beyond Clean, and where we are compared to them. And then I have the Minnesota chapter, I think that's Nebraska. And you can kind of see their total page likes. So Isham is at 6.2K, Beyond Clean at 5.5, and we're at 308. And then last week, it'll show you where they are compared to where they were. And then you can kind of judge where you are compared to them. So Isham only made 4 posts this week, whereas we made 16, and the engagement off of those. So we're still kind of low, but we don't have the total number of followers as what they are. So we're still slowly building our way up. And as you go through and you promote your yourself, it'll continue to increase. So that's just a little insight into how you can kind of keep track of what you're doing and the impact that you have from Facebook. So let's go back here. There we go. So Facebook disadvantages, because there are disadvantages to it. Time and resources. Setting up and running a Facebook page requires a great deal of time and investment. You may need a member of the staff, of your staff, who can take on the social media duties and have enough time to manage the page, as well as creating the content that you're going to be using. So all the posts that I have, I post stuff that's from other companies, so Beyond Clean, Peer Processing, Isham. I'll share that stuff, But then I have stuff that I'm creating myself. That takes time to do. So you need skills to do that. You need a staff member who manages your Facebook page. They may need training to ensure they have the right skills. They should be able to plan and create content, respond to inquiries and complaints, and represent your business professionally. Budget, to most people, if you really want to meet the level of interest that like Isham and Beyond Clean has, you might have to market and put some money into it to really gain all those followers. Negative feedback, it's a two-way communication with Facebook, meaning you can have happy customers and unhappy customers, and they will voice their complaints publicly. We haven't had any issues with that. I think you would find that more with like a business rather than with a chapter. So that's one of the things that we haven't had to deal with, but it's always a possibility to consider. On to the pros of Instagram. So we have an Instagram page as well. You get access to analytics, just like Facebook. You can add links to your Instagram stories. So I posted a thing about getting fired up for sterile processing week, and I posted a link to our website. So they can go directly to our website and kind of cruise around at what we have. You can schedule your posts ahead of time. You can take products in your posts. There's quality brand building there. And your target audience is also available based on your demographics, just like with Facebook. Instagram cons. So images have to be uploaded either through a mobile device or on a PC app. It's not something that you can do on a computer. Most businesses are kind of forced to rely on organic traffic when it comes to Instagram for business. So it's different than like an individual's Instagram page. Some of the images require a little explanation, but Instagram doesn't really give you the space to be able to really explain stuff really well. It's more photo driven. So that can be a drawback if you're posting a photo and it kind of needs a lot of information to explain it. Sending people a specific website can also be difficult for somebody that's not super computer savvy. And most users access Instagram from a mobile device also. So it's not coming from it's not coming from a computer. You actually have to have a mobile device to access it. Our Instagram, have 73 followers right now, and a lot of the posts are just stuff that I've used in Facebook, and I just transfer the information onto Instagram also. So it's not really time consuming. I have found that a lot of our followers are from all over the world. They're not from one specific area. So that's one of the benefits, is that you're reaching a wider audience than you typically would. So. All right, so LinkedIn is also another social media that we are currently utilizing. So it's one of the best social networks for a professional. It's easy to stay up to date within your industry. It is cost effective for your networking ventures. It provides a chance to offer specific expertise. It allows members to attach credit to their LinkedIn accounts for work done within your organization, and offer insights and analytics as well. So with our LinkedIn account, it's harder to stay up to date with it. It doesn't allow you to create posts ahead of time, but I found that it really gets you into very specific markets. So if you're looking specifically for sterile processing technicians, it's going to really help you dive into those groups, and it's the more serious individuals that you're going to find. So that's one of the benefits of LinkedIn. LinkedIn also has some drawbacks. You're going to receive tons of spam messaging. It requires a large initial time investment. When I set up LinkedIn, I had to do it off of my own personal profile. I needed to have so many contacts in order to create our chapter website, our profile. So there's a huge time investment involved with that. And it's a good thing because not just anybody is able to go and create a business profile. So there's pros and cons to that, but I appreciated the time involved with that just to make sure that you're a legit business. Networking interactivity is rather limited compared to the other social media platforms. You have to search for people. People have to search for you. It makes it a little more difficult to kind of spread your brand as quickly as you would be able to on Facebook or Instagram or one of those other options. And there is no way to preload your content for display. You literally have to go into it every day and post something. You can't just preload it. With Facebook, I can preload a month's worth of content and it'll automatically go up at a certain time every day. So that saves me a lot of time. And then it keeps dropping down on me. Here we go. All right. So here's our Western Wisconsin chapter of Isham on LinkedIn. You can see there's analytics with this as well. It shows the number of unique viewers that we've had, visitors this week. This goes up and down based on how many posts you make. I don't have a lot of time to be able to make a lot of posts, but when I first started and we were in lockdown, I had plenty of time and I made lots of posts, and I could see there was, there was tons and tons of hits, and then you can do hashtags and then it spreads it out. People can search for specific things like hashtag Isham, hashtag sterile processing, and our posts will pop up under those hashtags. And then you can see how many new followers we had, and this goes back to on here post impressions. So how many people are kind of seeing those impressions are being made just by each one of these posts that I make. And then it kind of shows you how many people liked it, how many comments you get. Organic impressions are listed on the bottom of each one of your posts. So there's that. And then so do we have any questions at all?
So on LinkedIn, do people ask questions and then you have to go in and answer them, or does?
Yes, people will ask you questions. I will go in and answer them if I know them. Otherwise, I can reference other people. A lot of times it's a lot of talking. I'll ask them questions like on our fired up posts. I ask them, what are you guys doing to promote Sterile Processing Week? And they will say, oh, well, we're handing out candy, or we're doing this, or we're having relay races and with wraps. And other people will respond to that on my posts. And it'll just kind of keep building, and the conversation will organically grow from there. So that was something that I've found really nice because it's a professional social media group. You end up with more of professional feedback and comments, whereas with Facebook, you can kind of, it can be pretty organic, and some of the comments and stuff can be less professional. Any other questions? Okay. So then we'll go ahead and we'll start our meeting.
Thank you very much, Leslie.
No problems.
Okay, announcements. It's CX week. Have any of your different facilities done anything to recognize you? My facility gave us subs, brownies, and a cheese and sausage platter throughout the week. That was it. Anyone else?
At Gunderson, we received a nice little bag, and it says "Together Saving Lives," and then along with that we got masks, and then we've gotten other treats individually because of with COVID we're restricted on what we can do.
Nice. Anyone else?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll move to reports. Any additions to the secretary's report or corrections to the report we can discuss later. Treasurer's report will be in the minutes. We're moving on to the committees. Amy committee from Lori Copper.
That there's kind of a repeat from last meeting, that there's upcoming changes to ST 79 on environmental cleaning, housekeeping, inspection and insulating instruments, routine care and daily cleaning of the sterilizers, and consistency of documentation of your BIs in the sterilizer loads. Amendments will be coming, but there were no specific dates as to when they'll be published.
Okay. We'll move on to bylaws by Michelle. We will be doing the bylaws actually. Leslie?
I don't have that much new. I kind of went over a lot of it in our education, so yeah.
Okay, legislative for Lori Farrar, who's not here but probably listening.
Yeah.
Is there anything she could tell us?
If Lori wants to email us if there is an update, I guess.
Membership. I have been working on rewriting the membership for joining our chapter. Diane had a few different versions of it, and I'm kind of combining all of them to make one up, changing things with the pandemic and how we're doing our viewing of our meetings on the webinar. And I'll be continuing that until hopefully we get some additions and we get to go farther. National Chapter Task Force by Peggy.
There has been no updates to present right now since our last meeting.
Okay. Nominations from Jane.
The letter will be going out, be thinking about what you want to run for. We have treasurer, right? No. Secretary and board member. And a board member. and
President-elect.
president-elect. So we have 3. So be thinking, all you out there, be thinking of which one you want to apply for.
Okay, newsletter update info.
The newsletter's going okay. Is there any suggestions?
Well, our last one went out October, right around the 1st of October. So you'll be working on that. Go out January?
Yep, January will be the next one. And then, does anybody have any suggestions for themes maybe?
Do some brainstorming and then maybe bring it back
Okay, that would be great.
with some different topics. You've done some great job, great getting different topics and stuff. So maybe at our offline meeting or our summit that we can kind of think of some more topics to help out.
Well, and if anybody has an idea, they can email the chapter
Yeah,
email,
Excellent.
and then I can get that to Leslie.
okay.
Okay, any old business? New business, December community donation project. Does anyone have suggestions of where or what, who?
Well, that usually goes with the, whoever's having the meeting for that month of December.
Can it help?
So that would be Lori.
Thought of December community donation project?
For the community.
No, I've not thought of a project.
So we should probably be thinking about that because it'll be something in the cross area, so.
I mean, they have the Rotary lights, you know, they have the food bank.
I was gonna say the food bank is
Yeah.
a good one if we bring a canned food. That's a
Or
good
there's
donation.
Toy for Tots, there's a number of different things in the area that we can come up with.
Any other
Otherwise, a
business?
cash donation
I want
is
to go
always
back to
good.
old business, can I? Sure.
Yeah.
So in our old business, we had getting a new computer for the secretary. We did purchase one for the president. Leslie ordered that online, and I'm wondering if we can do that for the secretary because of everything going on now with the virus. I haven't completed that yet. I get to the grocery store, and that's about it. And I've retired, and I'm not happy about it. But I'm wondering if we can come up with if we can order one for the secretary through wherever you've gotten hers.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I ordered it through Hewlett Packard. They have different sales coming up, especially with Christmas coming.
Sure.
There'll be sales for that too.
Good idea.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, she's got all the computer background, so she'd know what would be
Put in.
good or not. Yeah.
And for what the need is.
Yeah.
But are you willing to do that?
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't have to happen right now, but I think, you know, especially if you think there's sales coming later on
Mm-hmm.
towards Christmas, I mean, maybe we could look at something down the road. I'm just kind
Probably
of.
around like November
Okay.
they would start.
I'm just
around
kind of
there.
working with what I got. I
Yeah.
lose a lot of L's and E's and I have to go back,
Yeah.
but
How many computers are you guys trying to look for? Because usually don't they got like buy one, get one half off deals too?
Yeah. Yeah.
So deals two is basically possibly buy one, get one half off.
Yeah.
And like seasonal deals like such as Christmas or blowout sales or stores going out of businesses, companies buying other companies. There's numerous ideas out there to possibly try and go that road.
We can look at that.
Yeah, we can look at that.
See what's out there and then we can kind of talk about it.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have extra computers, especially,
For the
yeah,
treasurer,
I
for
think
the
that's
treasurer.
you know, if you
Yeah.
want the,
Black Friday is starting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
that's
have
what I
a-
say, that'll be.
Yeah.
potentially a
Computers for the
good deal.
treasurer as well as the secretary. I think if you can find a deal, I would add off.
That'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Just because everything is so virtual, it makes it, and it's, not everybody can use their work computer or,
yeah. Yeah, and if for some reason I'm unavailable, for some reason, you guys have other computers that I can have set up to do the Zoom or
Yeah.
something.
sounds like a good idea, something to look at and bring back to the.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay, our next concern is our upcoming meetings. We had one scheduled for Gunderson, but now with COVID surging in our state, things have come up that we cannot have it at the hospital facility. So we're looking at possibly going elsewhere,
I think we need to look at, like places that we can, can we
possibly
get
a
into the
library,
library? Any
someplace that's got Wi-Fi.
In a meeting room. So that'll be something that will need to get investigated and we'll have to update numbers as to what the outcome of that
And
is.
that will continue on
I-
our entire list of days, except the spring workshop, unless that gets canceled.
Right.
That will be at,
Well, but
The
they
school.
may end up being a lot of virtual too.
Yeah.
well, yeah, too. It'll be a lot of virtual, but still, we have to be there in person for
Right. We have to plan.
Yeah.
Yep, we have to plan.
Yeah, we
And
might
we'll just take it as we go, I think.
need to utilize some like hotels where they have conference rooms available. They would probably have less restrictions than a community college or a library would. So that would be an idea is to,
Investigate that.
yeah.
We do have meetings that are open yet though. February,
Yes. February, March is supposed to be our workshop.
August, or June.
Maybe June, August, October, December, again, should be at Gunderson Light Hall.
Yeah, that's a tentative right now. They gotta get that approved.
Everything's.
It's a year from now, so hopefully we're not still in the situation we are today.
Yeah.
No.
So bring back is, or the follow-up is that we each look at options for what we can do.
Correct. Okay, community involvement, Leslie and Lori. Do you have anything?
I don't know of anything right now. Mostly everything's been put on hold or canceled.
We did talk at our last meeting about bell ringing with the Salvation Army, but I haven't been on their website. Has anybody been on to see if they're accepting or doing?
They are taking them now.
Okay, so they are doing that.
So, yep, and if you want prime spots for wherever you are, now's the time to apply.
So if that's something that somebody wants to do, they just need to let us know so that we can document that.
Get a picture, something like that.
Okay, is there anything from anyone else? Otherwise, we will go to the hot topic by Lori Copper.
Okay, hot topic, I chose environmental cleaning. And it's off of the Process magazine from January, February. And it's the AORN is going to be releasing updated guidelines on environmental cleaning. And they're primarily addressing the operating room, but many of the recommendations are applicable to sterile processing. The SP focus is recommendation updates, guidelines, specific addresses, environmental cleaning of sterile processing areas. It is recommended to terminally clean the SP areas each day they are used to prevent dust and debris on surfaces, to make sure you're using low lint cloths. They're recommending damp method for dusting and mopping. Clean work areas such as packaging area and sterile storage should be cleaned in advance to the decontam so that you're cleaning have a schedule like weekly, monthly for the areas and equipment that are not terminally cleaned. For example, this would include sterilizer access rooms and other storage areas. The guideline also includes recommendations for measuring the cleaning. There's different ATP testing, and there's a list of different things that you can do to go back and check to make sure that the areas are actually getting cleaned. And many SPDs are now employing the use of the ATP testing for cleaning verification of medical devices. Research has shown that the use of the ATP cleaning verifications can identify your cleaning practices, improve cleaning of high-touch objects, can detect non-viable debris, can reach surfaces areas that contact culture plates cannot, and is effective in evaluating high-touch sites that may have bacterial contamination, is a quick and objective method for assessing hospital cleanness. A benefit to using cleaning verification for your environmental cleaning is that it provides a measurement and feedback to assess your cleaning performed. So, and that it's every technician's responsibility to help clean their area, not just your environmental service people. It's everybody in a collaborative that need to be cleaning. Anybody want to add to anything on that?
Does anybody know if their environmental services are doing any testing? Because Gunderson does have ATP testing. Any other facilities, do you know if they're doing any testing?
What kind of testing is it?
The ATP?
It's like 3M has one. They were looking at it, but I don't think they have progressed in that. But I think that they were looking at it.
I know that they were using it in like patient care areas as well to see that they were cleaning properly. This was before the virus. So I'm sure they're using it even more so now.
Because they were using them like on hand pieces where they could put a swab in and swab it and then see, you know, if there was debris left in there or bacteria.
Okay.
If you were cleaning it well
Was that the
enough.
shaver?
Yeah.
Yeah. Arthroscopy shaver for arthroscopy cases.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, I guess that's it.
What is our title for our certification tonight for the hot topic?
I had wrote down environmental cleaning.
Okay, I'll take a
motion to end the
motion
meeting.
to adjourn the meeting.
A motion.
I'll second it. Meeting has adjourned. My gavel.